right. All right.
Welcome everybody to another episode of the Providence Lucha Talk with me, boy Jay.
And this is Hito.
We're here to talk about what we can and been witnessing so far in the wrestling community. Um, I know a lot of our episode hasn't been posted yet on the YouTube, but don't be alarmed. It'll be posted soon. A lot of technical stuff when it comes to the streaming.
Mm-hmm.
But let's talk about wrestling. It's now been more than 15 days since CM Punk returned to WWE, and
Mm-hmm.
we have been seeing a lot of different plays in action. So, Lucito, you and I, we went to SmackDown Live on Friday. What's your thoughts on the show and how you felt about it?
I think it was a good show. I think it was good. It was balanced. I feel like we've been there before. I invited one of my friends or her friend, like a couple of her cousins, to go, and that was like her for a wrestling show. And I appreciated that this was kind of like a well-rounded show because normally we get either too much talking or too much wrestling. I feel this was a mix of the entire like spectacle because we had the troop stuff, the tribute troops, which was pretty cool, and so the ambience was a little different, which I appreciated. But overall it was good. I like that we had a couple of matches. The final matches I liked and I appreciate that I was able to get the Randy Orton final, the RKO. I always try to at least catch that when I do my recording or pictures, whatever. But overall it was a balanced match throughout, and unfortunately we had Charlotte Flair. I know everybody's been talking about that. Charlotte Flair getting injured, but accidents happen, so it's not wrestling. It's rehearsed, but it's not fake. People get hurt. How about you?
Absolutely. I agree. There's always incident in any workplace, and unfortunately, it happened to the Queen, Charlotte Flair. It seems that the angle where she jumped backwards out of the ring was the
Hmm.
where she could have really damaged. I think it was her knee. It's her leg area, so she couldn't really
Yeah.
finish the match. And unfortunately, Asuka is the one that got the W, which means it could change the play of the storyline of maybe
Hmm.
Bailey leaving damage control, or maybe they're going to prolong it and figure out what's going to be a new way of approaching it. So that was really interesting. Um,
Correct. And I think I heard
honestly,
that I think her being out for a while on TV, I think it's sort of unfortunate, but it's an opportunity for people from NXT. I think they're bringing up a couple of people from either NXT or that have been inactive on the roster to kind of fill her spot on TV. So it's gonna hopefully they people that get the opportunity capitalize on the opportunity, but hopefully she gets better. So
of course, we don't. We wish nothing but speedy recovery for every wrestlers and individual who get injured in this sport in type of profession, because it's again rehearsed, but the accidents and injuries are real. Um, honestly, everybody was there mostly for CM Punk. CM
mhm,
Punk was the 9 o'clock spot where he, definitely made some interesting perspective and approach, name dropping a lot of individuals that he would like to face or what the story could be. Honestly, everything is cool. I just would like to see just one person return from the CM Punk effect, and that's just AJ Lee. Um, I don't care what he does or who he faces. If he wins the Rumble, if he doesn't win the Rumble, he did announce that he's a full time Raw superstar on Monday Night Raw, and
mhm.
he's going to be in. He's the second Raw superstar to be in the Rumble alongside with Cody Rhodes. So either or, his story does not matter to me. I'm on the side of Seth Rollins. I'm not a big fan. I'm not too crazy about it. I'm hoping that his true colors show. I'm just being pretty frank about it. But if he wants to work with Roman Reigns as well, go for it, dude. I mean, like it's not like anything is going to change by you being back at WWE and going for the person who's been protected for so long. So
True. I
It
think
was a
there's still some stories. I think I like that there's still some stories for CM Punk. I know he's a little, older and stuff, but at least they still, dependent beef between him and Seth, him quote unquote creating the Shield, the idea of the Shield. So kind of like being able to kind of like fight his creation kind of from the inside. So it's like there's still some stories there. I wish it was, 10, 15 years ago, but we get what we get. And I think it was a good investment for WWE, but let's see how long that investment's gonna, bite them in the butt.
if it does, I mean, so be it. I think Rollins was pretty loud and clear that, like, I think he's just speaking for those who've been saying it a lot. Is like, this is CM Punk last straw. I don't know where else could he go after WWE. If he does a good job, kudos. You get rewarded with the championship match at in the biggest stage of WWE to offer. But if he starts to slip up before WrestleMania, then that's truly his nature. But again, I don't care about anything that has to do with CM Punk, but the fact that me be able to see AJ Lee once again and AJ Lee try to wrestle with the great ones like Charlotte, like Bianca Belair, like Asuka, Kairi Zane, and so forth. I think her return would be more impactful for WWE investment in viewership wise than what CM Punk is currently doing because this is just current. This I don't think this feelings that we have for him is going to last for a long time. He kind of like went away when he was in AEW. I
Hmm.
feel like that type of effect is going to occur sooner than AEW after the Rumble and the whole build up to WrestleMania.
True, true. Well, yeah, we'll see what happens. It's we still got a couple of months to the Rumble. I like that they kind of like spreading out throughout and they're building stories, but I'm just waiting for the next pay per view. I think they gotta hold off now. Now, just a waiting game, filler episodes until the Rumble. Hopefully, nobody gets hurt.
Cross some
But
fingers.
I know they're trying to build some time and they're trying to they like we mentioned they're trying to build some they kind of posted the US Championship tournament
Hmm.
and whoever comes out of that is going to go against Logan Paul. It's pretty balanced. I would have like if the bracket should have been done differently, but Bobby Lashley, I when I saw the matches on when we went to the Friday show, tribute to the troops, I'm like, Bobby Lashley's gonna win. He's part of the military. He's not supposed to lose, especially on that day. And Santos Escobar, he's kind of like a heel, but I wish they
Hmm.
weren't on the same bracket. I wish they faced each other at the end. Um, but it is what it is. I hope Santos Escobar pulls it through and makes it all the way through because that's kind of one of the feuds that we discussed for Logan Paul as soon as he won the title kind of
Hmm.
get Santos Escobar in the mix. Um, but I like that one side you have basically SmackDown, one side Raw. And they announced you mentioned on Deadline, correct, for the NXT superstar that's kind of like the wild card. It's Carmelo Hayes, which is a
Hmm.
good mix and a good person to kind of like move over eventually from NXT over to the main roster, and him being the former NXT champion. But do you like how the brackets coming about, or do you have any opinions about the bracket?
No, the bracket is fine. I mean, I believe both first two rounds that we witnessed alive was well, given to us. Yes, Bobby Lashley was go forward person on tribute to the troops. But Cranium Cross, honestly, the question is how do you repackage him for 24? And I
Mhm.
think we're gonna get that answer after WrestleMania, unfortunately, because I don't think there's no other with the TV time that they're giving away to individuals that they have now. It's going to be hard for him
Sure.
to get TV time. So Bobby Lashley for the push for sure. Between him and Santo Escobar, honestly, I mean Lashley seemed more favorable in my eyes
Hmm.
just for the power. And also he still has the support of the Street Profit if things go south. So Santo Escobar doesn't have anyone at the moment, unless if he has a truce with Dominique in Judgment Day. But we'll see what happened on Friday night. On
Yeah,
the other
because I know
side,
that.
though,
Sorry, I think just to add to that, I think they the people that they're they're thinking, because I know he dropped his boys from the Legado. I think they're trying to eventually add Garza and Humberto Carrillo to the mix with Santos Escobar as like the new group. Like you mentioned, I know Bobby Lashley has Street Profits. Maybe they get involved, and that's how he gets his allies and kind of make it a story out of that.
Right. Absolutely. And we'll see if that reveals by the end of the month. But on the other side, it's a really unique setup. I know that Kevin Owens does have you know, his interests on both Theory and Waller. I
Hmm.
think Waller might get a win over Carmelo Hayes due to the fact that in Deadline, some truth was revealed um, on who attacked Trick Williams, and things are getting a little bit more story tied for Carmelo Hayes. So I don't see him advancing in this tournament, unfortunately. I think Kevin Owens on his side will definitely get his hand on both Theory and Waller in his bracket, and will face, which is my pick, Bobby Lashley, to be the no one contender for uh, Logan Paul. Um, Bobby Lashley and Logan Paul seems a little bit too out out of unbalance.
Hmm.
But Kevin Owens, I think, after Logan Paul have faced people like Ricochet, um, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, Kevin Owens seems more of an appropriate person to step in next for Logan Paul for a title defense than Santo Escobar or Bobby Lashley, in my personal opinion. What's your thought on that?
I think eventually, I think this is Santos Escobar tournament to lose. I think he might end up winning the whole thing. I wouldn't mind seeing
Mm,
Santos against Kevin Owens, but um, I know Carmelo Hayes. He's kind of like the wild card and kind of like the chosen one in NXT, and
mm-hmm.
him being kind of a Shawn Michaels guy, and Triple H be kind of bringing over NXT guys. He could get a run, but I could see your bracket theory about Kevin Owens getting his hands on both Theory and Grayson Waller. I don't know if he's going to be successful at the end, but Santos Escobar against anybody would be great, and I would like to see. For me, I would
Mm,
like to see Santos Escobar against Logan Paul and potentially being the new U.S. champion. I don't think he's won any main event championship yet
no.
on in the main roster. He's won the North American one and in the NXT, but he hasn't won the US yet. But that'll
Yep,
be
he
something
has
to look forward to.
that'd be great for his resume, but again, everything is a little bit getting less space for individual to grow in WWE with a lot of the acquisition and players now. So hopefully once WrestleMania fever have passed, we'll
Hmm.
have a better understanding of like who is going to be the actual person, because luckily for Shinsuke, he's a little bit more relevant because he's working with Cody Rhodes.
Hmm.
Luckily for I think her name is Ivory from Diamond Mine. She's irrelevant because she has her beef with Rhea Ripley, our Truth with Judgment Day. So like small individual like that are still being stories are being told for the long run, but
Yeah.
individuals that we would like to progress, like a Premium Cross, like an Austin Theory, like Ricochet and the New Day, and so forth. Those, unfortunately, they might have to wait until after April for that story to build up. And it's the business, CM Punk, Seth Rollins, Cody Rhodes. Those are really your hottest talent,
Hmm.
as long as well Roman Reigns returning to SmackDown this upcoming Friday.
Yeah.
So, with those big four right there, WWE seems to be a little bit untouchable when it comes to the wrestling, the wrestling scene compared to other companies. AEW don't really, they're not doing too hot. I just saw a report that uh, they may have loss of $32 million as of 2023 with everything that they have put into and invested. And I'm not sure if majority of the money is like the buyout or the talent that have left the company that didn't really, you know, fulfill their contract, or they were able to get that money back of after acquiring those talents. So it's really interesting to see what AEW is going to be doing. and hoping that maybe investment in the UK could help them out. Now that they're doing everything in their power to promote for is I think it's all out for
Hmm. The
is
Wembley.
all out in the
Yeah.
Wembley, yeah, in the
Yeah.
UK. So it's you know I don't know. I think it's year 5 for AEW right now. So
Hmm.
um, things are a little bit shaky. I don't know what else they could do. They have this dope tournament that they're doing, and this upcoming Wednesday or this past Wednesday, depending on when this episode's released, we're going to be seeing the perfect scores of John Moxley and Swerve going toe to toe to see who's going to get the first loss. Which to me, I think this is something that should have been saved for pay per view because like these two individuals are definitely doing everything in the power to keep things relevant. Unfortunately, someone must get an L, and it's hard to see Swerve right now taking an L. If Mox, I think the person between the two is going to get the L. It's going to be Moxley.
Yeah.
What's your thought on so far on the gold? Yeah, they're on the gold Turner league right now.
Yeah. It's gonna be. It's a good blend. I feel like it's Swerve. I think we mentioned this a couple episodes ago. Like, it's the perfect thing for Swerve because he's getting some hype and some like push, and
Hmm.
also Daniel Bryan. Him and Daniel Bryan would be great. Like those two should be the final two for the tournament. That means unfortunately that the Ring of Honor champion is gonna drop everything. But he
Well,
was not gonna.
Daniel
We'll see.
Bryan currently Daniel Bryan's unfortunately supposedly got injured during collision, the recording collision in Canada.
Hmm.
So we're not even sure if he's going to fulfill the full tournament itself. So if you could pick someone else besides Daniel Bryan to complete this tournament, who would it be?
It has to be Swerve.
No,
Swerve
from
and
the
to replace to in that side, I would say probably Eddie Kingston.
mm, Eddie
Everybody
Kingston.
else, yeah, everybody else, it's they're alright, but I feel like you gotta keep kind of the champion going, kind of like he's not, him still being an underdog, even though he's a champion. Feel like keep our underdog in the running, so him against Swerve would be great.
I could see Eddie Kingston for sure. I mean, uh, honestly, I can't really think of anybody else from the Blue League that will have such more of a bigger impact than Eddie Kingston besides Daniel Bryan. I mean, I know we have Claudio, I know we have Andrade, but I don't think Andrade is going to make so much of an impact for the Blue
Correct.
League.
Hmm.
Um, and there's a couple of people that got two losses. Mark Briscoe is on the Gold League. I know that for sure.
Yeah,
So
it's
yeah,
the big guy from the House of Black, Brody Lee.
Brody Lee. Brody Lee would
Yeah,
be interesting, but I don't think this will also impact him too much
yeah.
uh, for the long run. So, yeah, I think they might try to do the Eddie Kingston side of the story, making him the underdog,
Hmm.
and maybe he could become the first time uh three crown champions. We don't know,
Well,
but
yeah.
one person I feel like that does deserve it, it should be
It's
Swerve.
sort of, yeah, sort of. It's his time, and I feel like don't. I feel like don't fumble this time because he had it when he was with Keith Lee. Like there was some hype and some push behind him. They fumbled that. Then he went for the TNT championship. They fumbled that, and I'm like, yo, you can't. Like the guy keep showing you that he could work with anybody, show you everything. Like now it's kind of
Hmm.
that time to like pay it forward, and kind of give him a push that he deserves. And he's
I
super
mean,
marketable. Like he's great for the company too.
he's markable. He understands the culture. He understands the business.
Hmm.
People love him. He has grown a lot of great fan base naturally, not
Yeah.
um, not by any previous career from a different company. He's doing everything naturally within AEW. I mean, if they don't see that now, again, like you said, they're gonna miss another big opportunity with Swerve in you know, AEW would not. I don't think they're gonna make it to year 6 if they don't really get their shit together. Because um
They're gonna
honestly,
lose
I
a bunch of people. Like they're losing money right now, and 2024 they're gonna have a bunch of free agents. So you have the MJF. There's a bunch of people, a bunch of WWE like Danny Day clauses are coming up soon, the 21st, that could get added onto the AEW roster and stuff. But like AEW has to do something. Like it is tough. Yeah.
It's mostly the response because like
Hmm.
with Impact, they're announcing they're going back to be TNA.
TNA.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Uh, with AAA, they're keeping it consistent within their own breed of people.
Hmm.
New Japan is the same, and they kind of coexist with AEW of sharing some of their superstar in order for people to get familiarized with their product.
True.
With AEW, I feel like they're going through in a identity situation. Like they don't know who they are as a company anymore. Because like when the company was formed by five individual alongside Tony Khan. Well, six if you include Chris Jericho. It's the Bucks, it's Kenny, it's Cody,
Yep.
and it's also I'm gonna say John Moxley because like he was the biggest name to show out from Double or Nothing that big pay per view event. So yes, you lost Cody, but you still got five of the remaining key pieces to make the company work. What is your identity? How do we make it better? You acquire Ring of Honor, which was huge. I thought that was going
Hmm.
to be more of a big game changer for Tony Khan and for AEW to be able to separate, like, all right, these are our star for Ring of Honor, these are our star for AEW, but it seems like again there's an identity crisis. We don't know who is who. We only know a few selective. We know who is Athena, we know who is Kenny, we know who is Yuta, because Yuta right now is the pure champion for Ring of Honor. We know
Correct.
who are the the embassy,
Hmm.
um, the tag team for AEW, I think it's Ricky Stark and Big Will.
Yep.
Tony Storm is your AEW champion, and MJF is your double champion, being the Ring of Honor tag team as well as the heavyweight champion. After that, bro, it's like, what else do
Hmm.
we got? You brought two legends of Christian Cage and Adam Copley, which
Yep.
unfortunately Adam Copley did not get the belt. So what story are we're gonna get out of there?
Yep.
You know,
You brought Ric Flair for nothing. Like it's just a pop, which is fine, but it's just like you brought him for nothing.
Ric
Sting's gonna
Flair.
retire.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Ric Flair was brought in just to
Yeah.
give the final match to Sting, which
Hmm.
is a three. That's like that's in March, I believe it
Yeah.
is. Is in March? I believe it's in March. It's
Yeah.
going to be his final match. So it's like, okay,
Yeah.
you want everybody to fly to Tennessee or North
Yeah.
Carolina, I believe, to witness this match. It's like it's not
Yeah.
that big of an eye candy because we saw what happened when two elders are in the ring and they, you know, Goldberg and Undertaker. I don't like
Yeah.
it's not the greatest like it's not the
Hmm.
biggest eye candy. It's like we
Yeah.
need to figure out how to make Kenny Omega once again the biggest ace that the company have. John Moxley is a great ace, but we need Kenny back involved. We need Kenny back on top. We need Chris Jericho to be once again relevant. We need Rio being a star, but you know what? Nyla Rose tried to be more aggressive like she was, because like that was the stuff that attracted people to watch AEW. And now, sure, you got people like Sky Blue, you have people like Tony Storm who are pretty eyes. Hogan, I forgot her first name, but last name is Hogan, Red Velvet. Like
Hmm.
those are
Here,
great.
Hogan.
Thank you. Like those are eye candies, but
Yeah.
that's not enough. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
and you also need talent. Like, yes, looks it's great, but you also need to build. Like, I know they're building up the feud between Athena and Starks, or Billy. Is it Billy Starks? So
Yep.
at least there's something going there. But you like that's one feud out of the entire women's division. And you, for example, the Samoa Joe situation, you kind of like he forfeited the title for nothing, for a maybe opportunity for the AEW championship that he's not gonna win. So he legit forfeited his championship that he was doing well to something like, yeah.
Unless if with the Claw premiere, seeing that both Cena and MJF were in the same event,
Mm-hmm.
we don't know if MJF is going to WWE. You know what I'm saying? Maybe Samoa Joe is going to win the title because they need a champion and they try to do it much cleaner than messier. But then again, the match that was supposed to happen last Wednesday didn't occur because why? Because we have the devil and his gang
Mm-hmm.
involved, and it's like, okay, that's cool, but I also have Neck Strong and his boys, the Kingdom, also making noise, and it's like nothing is like connecting pieces. It's like I'm
Yeah.
a bit more confused than clear of what is the bigger picture for the AEW championship. You know what I'm saying? One person I did forgot to mention is Julia Hart as the TBS champion. She is doing a great job so far with her title and also building up her next match against Abanom, which I think that's going to be a great moment for the both of them because they could bring
Yeah.
an element to the show that we haven't seen in a long time. So kudos for them too to try to keep the women division afloat because like right now
Mm-hmm.
everything is just plateau and it's getting boring. It
Yeah.
is.
Do you think like the having the new people? I think I showed you this. Um the free agents are coming up based on the 90 after the 90 day. Do you think anybody of these will make an impact or will go to any other company that you could think that could like move the needle for any company, or they just filler guys?
They're filler guys, unfortunately. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
they're like you have freaking what's his face again, bro?
Riddle.
Riddle. Yeah, Matt
Yeah.
Riddle in the
Yeah.
front of this poster. Well, I know
Yeah.
you didn't make it, but
No. Yeah.
he
Yeah.
he's in the front of the poster and
Hmm.
he was not even a big impact in WWE unless if he was a
Correct.
tag team partner. Uh
True.
you got Nick, formerly known as Dolph Ziggler. He probably could be helpful for a company like TNA or AEW for you know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
Hmm.
But the way how I have seen AEW been writing their story, it's gonna take time. And I don't know if time is really on AEW side. Mustafa Ali, he was great. He was building momentum, but guess what
Hmm.
happened? They cut him short. So
I
we
feel
never
like he'd
see
be
him.
good for if you want to TNA, but he'll be great for the X Division champion, X Division, not for the main. Like kind of like a bunch of cruiserweights and kind of like that'll be
But
good for him. But that's like there's nothing
is
like
that a
a
move?
needle mover now. No,
No, he's
I
not.
think
It's
the only
not
one
a.
that could probably go move it might be just Dolph Ziggler. But it depends if he goes by himself or I don't know. Him being with his brother, cool, but I don't think his brother hasn't had any momentum in AW that like him being affiliated with his brother. I don't know if it's gonna help him or like hinder. Because that's kind of what happened with the Hardy Boys. Okay, cool. Matt Hardy was there, kind of held the place. Then when Jeff came in, cool. Then it's a full package. But I,
But
it's
not
tough.
they're unsatisfied with AEW,
Yeah,
and we're my dream match of seeing Christian Cage,
yeah,
Dudley Boys, and Hardy Boys is slowly
yeah.
gonna fade away because they're
Mm-hmm.
unsatisfied with AEW. You know what I'm saying?
True.
Shelton Benjamin, honestly, he's gonna be more favorable for TNA and helping out Mickey James and them over there in that brand than AEW.
True.
Uh, uh, Formerly known as Top Dollar from Hit Row, which I
Hero.
was
Mm-hmm.
surprised that they still haven't gave this kid his own music. Um,
Yeah.
the Stallion, Adonis the Stallion, his own music,
Mm-hmm.
but
Yeah.
it was a dark match. When if you were
Yeah.
there
Yeah.
live, it was a dark match, and it was like, oh, we're still playing Hit Row. Okay, that's
Yeah.
kind of weird. He's, I think he should just stay in the hip hop scene. I don't
Yeah.
see anything magical happening out of him. Um,
The thing I've
um,
never noticed, like honestly, I don't know if it's like it just hit me, but they were always in separate brands, and they never like it's kind of like I wonder why they never put them together. But you have Rick Boogs and Elias. they're both like guitar, like music people. I'm surprised they never put them together. Like you know what I'm saying? Like imagine them two, like if they ever go back or whatever, but like why not put them together and like see what happens? You know how they pull like the Rock and Mankind, like they pull like Franken teams together, but like at least they have some musicality in like entertainment. But that's something that like I feel like a missed opportunity. But you know, maybe they could do some collaborate or do something or whatever. Who knows?
But you have all right, but with Moo, what happened to him was injury because
Mm-hmm.
he was building up for a tag team title with
Correct.
I think it was
Shinsuke, I
Chad
think.
Gable or Shinsuke.
Yeah, it was. I think him and Shinsuke. They like yeah, because he used to play the
I,
guitar
I
in Shinsuke. Yeah,
yeah, good call.
yeah,
They had an opportunity to be SmackDown Tag Team Champion. Unfortunately, injury took that away from him.
yeah.
And then Moss was one of my favorite people back in WWE, hoping that he
Mm-hmm.
was going to be a great middleweight type of contender, and
Correct.
nothing came out of him.
Yeah,
Now
they gave him
Elias,
gave him they even gave him his girl, like they gave him Emma, nothing. Like yeah,
now
that's
Elias, out of these like individual, I'm not even going to mention Masur and Homeboy, but
yeah.
Elias though, Elias, he definitely has potential to be a heavyweight champion, but it's not going to be for AEW. It's really hard for you to tell me that Elias is going to do great for AEW when that company itself again has an identity crisis
Mm,
in their plate. Elias needs to be somewhere that he could be well appreciated and at least worth the money. I feel like he should go to Japan or AAA. One of those two
yeah.
companies will definitely give him the money that he deserves. Japanese people love karaoke, my guy. They love good entertainer. Who else does well entertaining than formerly known
True,
as Elias? You know, you already
true.
made him shave his beard, cut his hair, stop playing the guitar, giving him his intro. Like, what else can you take away from him? You know?
True.
So, and I felt like he was going to be a future WWE champion, like not US or IC. I thought this dude was going to be a WWE champion, heavyweight champion, in again, never got the opportunity. So it's like this list right
No,
here, man, it's
that's tough.
hard.
Yeah, yeah.
It's hard. Now, another person who was not in the list is Mercedes Monet. Mercedes
Mm-hmm.
Monet did release a video package that she is retraining. She's getting ready to return to the ring, and a lot of people are speculating that she's going to make an appearance to TNA to join her friend Trinity, or she might be returning back to WWE for the Royal Rumble. What's your thoughts in those type of speculation?
Um, I would say I would like to see her in AEW because I feel like all the push and everything and advertising for her to collaborating with New Japan and AEW would have been a good merge. But her coming back, kind of Royal Rumble, it's kind of like the return for people. So kind of she could do a one-off thing, which wouldn't be too bad. You know, wouldn't be bad. But I don't know. I think because the thing it's Bailey, it's like the X factor because like Bailey's gonna be out basically out of Damage Control. So what's next for her? Either rehire her, like extend her free agency and stuff. So like I feel like they're waiting for Monet is probably waiting for Bailey to see what she does, kind of what her next move is. Because if she decides to stay, I would say she might come back to WWE and kind of like
Mm.
she's freshen up and kind of like heal back from her injuries. But if Bailey decides to like call it quits or do something else, then I'll see her back in the Indies, kind of like doing one last run to see the run that she couldn't get started because of injury.
Those are really good perspective.
Yeah.
Honestly, Monet should be where the money is at.
Hmm.
Money is not in AEW. They have money. They could
Yeah.
borrow money, especially, Daddy Khan's money, but they ain't
Correct.
got their own money to be investing in a person like Mercedes Monet. Mercedes Monet should definitely, I think she should give TNA a try. Make that brand at least a B to an A star level brand where people will watch their show on Tuesday night or Thursday night and be able to have fun with them and the talent, because a lot of the talent from WWE did transition to also to TNA. It's not
Correct.
AEW like the only option. Is like there's the Indies, there's TNA, and there's other outside of the United States. So if anything, I think she should join Trinity and try to bring life back to that party.
True. True. But yeah. But I think we covered a little bit of everything. I feel like now, from now until maybe like I don't know, beginning of January, I think it's when everything's gonna start picking up. I know they're gonna have a bunch of holiday shows throughout New England, and I feel like they started working this way down from the East Coast down, so they kind of like setting up for the Rumble and the other matches. So it should be let's see what WWE, AEW, and other companies has to give us for entertainment from here on to January.
Yeah, it's a slow push right now. As we comment, WWE is currently hot, so it's like that's the must see, and
Hmm.
I'm just hoping that the people who are about to transition out of NXT to the main roster, the only thing I hope for is that they shine well with the opportunity that's given to them and try to make themselves as much relevant as possible so they could be in the same table talk as Cody Rhodes, CM Punk, Seth Rollins, and as the Roman Reigns, because it sucked that there's not other individuals that we could talk about besides those four. Main event Uso, Jay Uso, he got the yeet back. Shout out to him. Uh,
Hmm.
Drew McIntyre, who's I guess he's soon to will be leaving the company, and Shinsuke, because Shinsuke is right now working
Cody.
with with Cody. So
Hmm. The one I'm
let's
waiting for, it's like I haven't seen it in a while, and I keep bringing him up. It's Sheamus. Like, where's Sheamus? What's happening with Sheamus? Like, there's nothing. Like, I don't think I haven't seen anything about him being in movies or anything. I know the Brawling Brutes are been kind of like flying solo by themselves and kind of like crumbling
they
without
broke
Sheamus.
up.
So yeah. So like I hope Sheamus is doing well. I'm glad that we talked about it the last episode. Our Truth came back, which is excellent. I think it was a necessary and comedy thing that we needed. And kind of that takes that away from the Alpha Academy, so they could be semi-serious now instead of be a comedy thing. But overall, it's just like I like what I'm seeing from WWE. Um, and kind of I see the fruit, just the fruit of the labor. Kind of like we're guaranteed one of the top four on the TV, no matter what. Like we mentioned, Seth, Cody, CM Punk, whatever. So at least we're guaranteed somebody to show up. So we're not gonna have like a show that's like a C-level show on A or B brand or whatever. So now it's just like keeping people interested and hooked for the next month, and then kind of seeing the payoff for the Rumble.
I mean, yeah, no, the Rumble itself is the hook, line, and sinker,
Mm-hmm.
Lucito. It's them now. Just tell us the other individual who are going to partake in the Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
Let me know if Randy Orton is going to be part of it again. Let me know if Rey Mysterio is going to magically be healed to be part of
Mm-hmm.
this match. Let me know if Bad Bunny is going to be one of the surprise guests. Like, start name dropping people so that way when January 27th, 25th, 27th, when the Rumble occurs in Florida, at least be at least somewhat excited to see one of our favorite old school or new school wrestler in the match. But
True.
slowly doing this build up of like every week right now, it's one new individual be like, I ain't putting my name into the Rumble. I'm putting my name in the Rumble. It's like
Yeah.
you ain't gonna waste 3 hours of our life just to be naming dropping
Yeah.
one person. You gotta speed up the balls
Yeah.
somewhere or somehow, or you know, bigger, better way to entertain us. So I don't know. Maybe I'm a little bit impatient, or maybe I'm just forward thinking of like maybe I just want the Rumble to be here so I could see what's next. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know. That's how I am.
True. True.
But yeah, guys, let us know if there's anything else we should be focusing on out in the wrestling community. Please make sure to like, share, and subscribe to the Providence Lucha Talk and all of our social media platform. We'll gladly be able to, respond and bring light into your comments. And till then, I'm your boy Jay.
And it's Luisito.
We say thank you so much for sticking around and have a good night.
That's it.
Peace.